financially free and enjoy more of what the world has to offer in this action one, because this is where most human beings screw the pooch.
So a little one-person trampoline. Very,
I screen shared it. Like, there's no excuse. Like, phone numbers are just out there. You just got to pick up the phone, smile, and dial. So. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday morning. I hope everyone had an incredible Easter if you do celebrate that. And on this episode, we're actually going to talk about religion and God just a little bit. And more so, we're trying to be a little more spiritual in our lives. But I found for myself, my views and my opinions have changed a lot, which I think is a good thing in understanding that our beliefs and where we find comfort and peace will continue to grow and change. I think a common theme for a lot of human beings, oddly enough, or this is just maybe you've had different experiences or you believe in something else, or I noticed that young people take on a religious role. I'm sure a lot to do with how their parents are approaching it. And then you go through another stage where you're not very religious, you're not sure, you're questioning a lot of things, you're kind of taking on the role of a philosopher, trying to make your own opinions in this wild world. And then reconnecting with maybe some of your old beliefs, and this would be stage 3, reconnecting with some of your old beliefs and seeing where things you've learned along the way mix and match into what you believe today, or you just get back into religion in general. That's kind of a confusing way to round about it. Good morning. Thanks for tuning into the show this morning. But yeah, we're going to talk about my own personal beliefs on God and religion and see if we can kind of make a little more sense of it. But again, the goal is for you to maybe be a little more spiritual this week. Maybe you've been wanting to go to church for a really long time. It was Easter Sunday and you're like, oh, I've always kind of wanted to do that, to kind of check that out and be a little more about that. Or possibly you're trying to figure out like your relationship with the universe, either or. So stage 1, we'll kind of go through these in 3 stages. Here I need to get my show notes handy dandy and ready real quick. Good morning. Is everyone having a good morning? The alarm clock did not go off this morning, and it was I was pretty stressful. I was pretty late to the party, kind of running around like a madman this morning, but those are Mondays for you, right? And trying not to get too mad. If that's ever happened to you, I always try to like slow down and do a little bit of a breathing exercise. I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes I can just get a horrible temper when one little tiny thing goes wrong. And we can't have one little 2-second period. Someone says something, alarm clock doesn't go off. We can't have that ruin our day. So let's get right to it. Let's get to the notes. I'm going to run through these. These are the stages of my own belief system within religion, how I've found a lot of peace. And there's 3 stages. So first stage, this was just all or nothing, heaven and hell. This was heaven or hell. When I was younger, I used to believe it. I did believe in God, and I used to think like, okay, if I don't believe in this very particular structure, I'm probably going to hell. And that's not a good thing. And that drove me to want to be better. And well, it kind of brought a little more fear into my life, more than anything, more than maybe some of the positive stuff. But in the first, it was a very like straight line, like this is the answer. All other answers are wrong. So thinking of it like it is my way or it is completely incorrect. That's more of the point I'm trying to make. So for me, and then it molded into, I don't believe in anything at all. I don't believe at all. So at first I was like, okay, this has got to be right. God, man on a cloud, he created everything. The story, it has to be true. And if I don't do this, then I have the punishment and consequence for my sins to go to hell. And I didn't, after I started reading a few books, I went off to school, I started just talking to other people on their opinions about it. And then I turned into completely agnostic, where it's like, okay, I don't believe in anything at all. So I went to, okay, now that I don't believe at all, then I kind of felt almost like powerless. And I kind of felt, when I was talking to some other friends and other people who were a little more spiritual or a little more religious, I felt like they had something I didn't. And then I started reading more into philosophy. And I was like, okay, well, it seems like there is something very powerful spiritually when you're able to push off the burden and the pressure of what we believe is suffering. So we have this pain, we have this weight of, oh, I want to do all the stuff in my life. I want to show up. I want to feel the best. Or maybe right now I don't feel very good and I want to pray, or I just want to feel better in general. The second feeling, I don't believe in anything at all, it felt very lonely and it didn't feel very good. I was like, okay, I want to learn more about it. So I started studying a few other religions, actually a little more on Christianity, a little more on Buddhism. Those are the two that I like more than anything. Or even maybe kind of learning more about the Prophet and Muhammad, and kind of coming all together back for this is more so what I believe now today is that that God is a feeling, and this is also from, I really like Eckhart Tolle's definition of God, and he talks a lot about that in The Power of Now. And the definition of God for me today is this feeling of being in the present moment, the feeling of being very light, the feeling of being here right now, not running to the next thing, but the blissfulness and the quiet and the presence of feeling it right here, right now has been very powerful and forgiving for me. Again, like this morning, I wanted to get up. I didn't have my content written. I didn't have my stuff organized. I didn't have anything set out. So I wanted to get up at 5:15 this morning. Alarm clock doesn't go off until 6:40. And I'm just like running around like a madman. I'm feeling very frustrated. And then I stop and I breathe for just 2 seconds. And then it kind of gives me this coating feeling of relaxation to pull me back to be right here, right now. And that is what I've attributed to God personally, is this feeling of presence, this feeling of connecting with myself. It's still, I know it's 7 a.m. on after Easter Sunday, so a lot of us are probably feeling a little slow right now, but there's something very wild about just the human experience. The fact that you woke up this morning after just completely being unconscious for a period of time, the fact that you got up and you have the chance to get up and that you can feel everything from like the chalk I'm touching to the chalkboard, like the fact that you have this ability, it almost seems like there has, like, for this consciousness stuff, like there has to be some greater being. And maybe there doesn't. Maybe the consciousness is the being. Maybe the consciousness is the gift that we get to cherish and enjoy. Thanks for staying with me. I know this stuff can be deep, but this stuff can also be very, very powerful. And I think everyone needs to find their own thing. So maybe that it would be the bonus is it just needs to find yours. So finding yours, like where's your peace? Where is your spirituality? How can that play in for you? And then trying to continue to stay open-minded. Open-mindedness is a very powerful trait for people. So continue to stay open-minded. Staying open. This can allow us to, I'm not saying one of these is right. And I'm not saying one of these is wrong, but if it makes you feel better, if it makes you engage with yourself, if it makes you sit in the present moment, if it can help calm your temper down, if it can make you feel better when you're feeling ill, or mourn when someone else is sick or hurt or dying or something, or just dealing with the chaos and suffering of life, if we can use something like God to be able to handle these situations, be better people, to enjoy ourselves, then I think that's a powerful term that we should all engage in. They talk about mental, physical, spiritual health all the time. And spiritual health, it was always something that I was like, it's kind of weird, woo-woo, not getting into that, no thank you, not doing the church thing. And then I started seeing what this actually does for people. And I was like, okay, they're coming together. It's bringing them a sense of peace. But my definition doesn't have to be your definition. My definition has come to this feeling, this connecting with the present moment and a total relaxation of the mind and the body working together as one unit. That's what I believe God is. So I'm curious to what your beliefs are. I'm curious to what's one thing you could do this week to gauge in your spirituality? And this could be a number of things. This could be you could go to church. You could meditate. You could even just go on walks. I find walking as like the easiest and best way to meditate. But what do you want to do? Maybe you want to read a book. Maybe you want to read something religious. Maybe you want to read. Maybe you've never read the Bible before, but you got really strong opinions against it. And you understand to keeping your mind open, you have to read counter viewpoints. Maybe you are a Christian and you want to read more about a different religion, maybe about Buddhism. Maybe you want to just expand your mind and expand your meaning on what it is to God, to go from maybe it's a strict yes or no answer, or maybe you're at, I don't believe in anything at all. Maybe you believe in the universe and how all energy kind of works together. Or maybe you believe in just that God is this, our ability to feel and our ability to just be here right now is pretty incredible too. So whatever your beliefs are, maybe we just take the time to expand them or to cement them and continue to evolve and grow and keep an open mind. I think if we can continue to accept other people's views and how everyone's at different stages, we can work together, we can reduce conflict, and we can use this for how I believe it's supposed to be used. It's as ability to enjoy the human experience at a higher level, to feel better for yourself, to give back to other people, and to make this a better place. That's all I have on God and religion today. So open your mind, expand yourself, understand this is an evolving and growing process. It's going to continue to change over time, and that's okay. But as long as it's giving us the benefit of enjoyment of life and not the consequences or the finger wagging or any negative stuff, we want to be able to use this as a tool to enhance our performance, not to take the will or give us an excuse to hurt others. So be very careful with this. Look into this, enjoy this, and I hope this was helpful. But I'm continuing to try and go on my own spiritual journey. So I wanted to share with you guys mine, where I'm at. Sometimes this stuff's really hard to put in the words, but with enough practice, due diligence, reading, studying, and learning from other people, I think we can get some really powerful meetings that bring a lot of positivity and gain in our lives. Thanks for tuning in this morning. I'll be back live again with more of a business episode tomorrow morning, as this morning I wanted to honor more of the Easter Sunday. So I hope this was helpful, but that's all I have. Be on the lookout for more chops of our content throughout our YouTube channel. Additionally, I'll be making side posts on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. So thanks again, friends. I'll catch you on the next episode of the Talk to Tara Morning Show at 7 a.m. live Central Standard Time. Cheers. Have an amazing, incredible Monday, because it's April 10th. Once the sun goes down, poof, April 10th will be gone. April 10th, 2023. So make the most of today. Enjoy the day. Let's get after it. Let's have a good one. Let's go. Have a great day, guys, everyone.